Hello, everyone. Welcome to Fandom Academy, a bonus episode today. We are here with making his Fandom Academy debut, Charlie Goldberg, and we are talking Double or Nothing and Night of Champions, a big weekend in wrestling. A lot to talk about. Charlie, are you excited?
It's going to be an incredible week, CJ. I'm really excited, and no, I'm not biased. I only have an AEW blanket. I love AEW and WWE equally, so let's do this thing.
And let's get it kicked off. Night of Champions this week, a Saudi show. Those are usually in the past not great, but this is Triple H's first one, I believe, so a lot to look forward to here. And second? All right. Well, it's a stack card. Card's looking real good. Looks like there's a lot of matches, and that kicks off with the SmackDown Women's Championship, even though it's on Raw. Haven't really talked about what they're doing with those titles yet, but Rhea Ripley versus Natalya. I think this is probably the most predictable match on the card. There is not a shot in hell that Natalya wins this title here, but Charlie, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking exactly what you're thinking. Why haven't they addressed the elephant in the room yet? What's going on with the Raw and SmackDown Women's titles?
Haven't even mentioned it. It's not weird that the Raw Women's Championship is being defended on SmackDown. I really hope that the way we've gotten so far, I don't think they're going to do the title swap because I think that's really stupid. But I think what they should do is just kind of debrand them. Just do like the WWE Women's Championship or like the Universal Women's Championship, stuff like that. I think that would be a lot better than having the SmackDown Women's Champion on Raw defending the SmackDown Women's Championship because it doesn't really make sense. But in terms of this match, Rhea Ripley is on a tear. I don't see her losing that title until her and Bianca go head-to-head, and even then I think she's winning that match. So I think Rhea Ripley's a lock on that. I'll bet my house on that one.
Oh, but yeah, Mommy's taking it all.
Yeah. Mommy's winning it all. And going into the next one, another women's match, we have Becky Lynch versus Trish Stratus. This match was one I was expecting to happen at SummerSlam, and it's happening a lot sooner than I think so. So that's why I'm picking Trish Stratus to win this one. I think the storyline is far from over. We've only seen a taste of it. Becky Lynch has only been back for 2 weeks now. So I think having them go back and forth for a while is going to be a lot more fun than having this match end here. Their segment last night was a lot of fun where Becky Lynch was barking at Trish. I thought that was hilarious. They're both stars, and I really want this feud to continue all the way to Detroit. What do you think?
I don't know about Detroit because there's a certain Mommy I would like to see the man face at SummerSlam.
That's true.
I would like to have this feud end here in Night of Champions. But, yeah, I think the man takes it all away. Trish has been wanting to put Becky over for a long time now. This is her chance to do it. It's a big stage, stadium show. And I think this is where it's going to happen. So I think the man's going to win.
And I think this has a really good shot at being a good match. I think Trish is still really, really good in the ring for her age, which is incredible. And Becky Lynch is one of the best workers in the business. So I definitely think this is one to keep an eye on. Another one that could be a really great match. I'm going slightly out of order on the forum, so I'm sorry. But Gunther versus Mustafa Ali. I think this one could be a banger. If you go back to his 205 Live days, Mustafa Ali is incredible. His matches with Murphy are insane. And if you've watched any Gunther match ever, you know that man is one of the best in the world. But for the winner, I think Gunther's winning this one. I think he's coming for Honky Tonk Man's record. And I think once he breaks that record, he's going straight for the head title. Charlie, what do you think?
Yeah, easily, since Triple H has taken over, I'd say the best thing he's done creative-wise. He's done a lot of good, but Gunther has just been phenomenal. His work with Imperium, building up the faction, bringing Vinci to the main roster. Gunther's been on a tear as of late. There's no way he's not beating the Honky Tonk record. I think he gets through Mustafa Ali. Hopefully, it's a good showcase for Ali. I hope it's not going to be a Ricochet, Brock Lesnar, Saudi squash like we saw years prior. But, yeah, looking forward to it.
And then another match that has championship implications, and I think this one's also fairly predictable, is Bianca Belair versus Asuka. Their match at WrestleMania was great. Surprised they're still going with this feud. It just seems like it's something for Bianca to do. So I think Bianca takes this one easily, but I really do hope for more for Asuka going forward. What do you think?
Which singles women's are on the SmackDown roster? You have Asuka, then Damage Control, and that's really... I can't think of any singles women's.
I think Charlotte, and I think they'll probably save that for SummerSlam. So other than that, I think they really need to start building new people up on SmackDown. So, yeah, for sure.
I could see Alba Fire, but she's with Isla Dawn.
Yeah. But I think Raquel's on Raw, right? Like her actual her home brand? Yeah. Raw. So, yeah, I don't know who you go with for Bianca after this, but I do think she wins it here.
I'm not sure. I mean, Bianca's the obvious choice, but there's like a tiny part of me that thinks that Asuka might take it just because it's a way to get the women's championship situation settled. Asuka wins it, she could take it to Raw, but then Rhea Ripley's another big red flag. So what's going to happen there? But it would kill half of the problem if Asuka wins, but I'm not really sure.
And I think that's where you got to start talking about Money in the Bank, too. I think Money in the Bank has to go to someone on SmackDown. I think Dakota Kai would be really cool, and they're doing the Damage Control breakup, too, and that instantly shoots Dakota Kai up to that Bianca Belair level with that briefcase. So I think that would be a lot of fun. But yeah, the SmackDown Women's Division desperately needs help. And if there's one criticism I would give Triple H, the Women's Division has not been as booked as strongly as I would love it to. It's been better since Mania. I really like the stuff they did with Bianca and Io. Like, I thought that was really good. But since then, it's been kind of stagnant. So I hope we get more like big-time stories going forward with the women. And speaking of big-time stories, we have this one, which I am so 50-50 on. But it's Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending against Roman and Solo. And my heart really, really thinks that they'll give Kevin Owens and Sami, but it's in Saudi, and they love to make questionable booking decisions in Saudi. And putting another belt on Roman and Solo would be something they would do here. But I think I'm gonna pick Sami and Kevin because they gotta further that bloodline story. But what do you think?
I mean, this is the entire weekend. This is the match I'm most conflicted on. My heart wants Sami and Kevin, like what you said. I think that them losing the title so fast after them finishing their story at WrestleMania would be heartbreaking. And I would be pissed, to say the least, to see the tag team titles go really part-time too. I want Sami and Kevin more than anything, but there's one thing I learned over the past 1,000 days. Don't bet against the tribal chief. So I might go Roman and Solo here.
And he don't lose on pay-per-view, which has me so scared. And Triple H has been so protective of Solo. I think one of his only losses was to Cody on the Raw before Mania. And it was a screw job loss, or like an interference, like honky loss. So I don't know. I'm really conflicted. I really don't want to see Roman Reigns take those belts. I feel like Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn have so much more to do. They've teased the feuds with Imperium. I think they're going to have a lot of cool matches there. There's a lot of cool teams. They've been beefing up the tag division more. I was full love to see a Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn versus Judgment Day feud going forward. There's so much more potential there. Because if you have Roman Reigns with those belts, he's not going to defend them on pay-per-view. He's going to be busy defending the other stuff, even if he does defend the titles that he has going forward. So I really just think Roman's going to be busy going forward. So I really hope that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn win. But it wouldn't shock me just to get that visual of him holding 4 belts. I don't want to see it, but I feel like it might happen. And another match I'm really 50-50 on is Cody Rhodes versus Brock Lesnar. I don't think this feud's ending here. I thought it was going to end at Backlash, be a one-off feud, send Cody back to the main event. But I don't know. I feel like they might have this match continue. But then again, I think Cody's winning Money in the Bank, so I don't really know. So I'm going to pick Cody Rhodes.
I would go Cody too. I want Cody to win and finish his story at SummerSlam. I think Roman hit 1,000 days. I understood why he retained at WrestleMania. They wanted him to hit that big record. It makes sense even though the fans were pissed off.
Yeah.
But I don't know. Brock might win here, and they might continue it to Detroit, because now the rumor is we're going to have the Usos versus Solo and Roman, and that's Roman's big-time match in Detroit.
Oh, God. That makes me think he's winning the titles, the tag titles, God. But I think, yeah, I do see this feud going all the way to SummerSlam, and I really hope the finish at least is more definitive here than it was at Backlash. And I love this Brock Lesnar we're getting right now, this angry Undertaker Lesnar that we're getting right now. I think he's a lot of fun. I just wish it wasn't taking up Cody, because my ideal, despite what you just said about the tag match, which I think would be cool, I think you have Cody win Money in the Bank, and that's his ticket over to SmackDown to take that those titles off Roman. So I think it would be cheap if you just have Cody win the World Heavyweight. I think he needs to win the WWE title. So that's his way to Roman. That's what I want. I really don't want to wait all the way till Philly, but I feel like that might be where we're headed. But yeah, it should be an interesting one. Hopefully it's brutal. Cody got the shit beat out of him last night on Raw, so we'll see how he is come Saturday. But the last match we have here at Night of Champions is a big one. The reinstatement of the World Heavyweight Championship. The finals of the tournament, Seth Rollins versus AJ Styles. If you watched their match back at Money in the Bank in 2019, you know this one is going to kill it. two of the best workers in the league. Styles says he's on his way out. It's Rollins in the peak of his game. There's a lot of outside factors, I think, that contribute into the decision of this match. Rollins obviously on Raw. Apparently the World Heavyweight title is going to be on Raw, but is also filming a Marvel movie right now. So we don't know how long or what his availability is right now. So I can see the hesitation putting it on him. But I think he's also the most over superstar in the world right now. So I think Seth Rollins will win this match. But I do think there's an outside possibility they try and swerve us and have AJ Styles win and bring AJ to Raw after the Cody stuff, or have AJ Styles stay on SmackDown and have Cody bring the Undisputed title to Raw after he beats Roman. A lot of funkiness going on, but I think my final decision would be I think Seth Rollins is winning it here.
Yeah, I think Rollins is winning it. I think it's long overdue that he's a world champion. If you would have asked me a year ago, I would have actually had Rollins over Cody beating Roman Reigns, but the whole story and needing to finish it. The World Heavyweight title cannot be placed on Cody Rhodes, as you mentioned before. That's not his story. That's not the championship that Dusty never held. So now we look at the World Heavyweight title. So much for the brand split already. Seth Rollins could stomp AJ Styles' head in.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think there's a lot of potential with Rollins as the heavyweight title. I think there's a lot of cool feuds he could have on Raw. I think eventually I would love to see Gunther dethrone him for the title. I think that's an easy way to go, and that'd be a hell of a match too. But feuds with Balor, Nakamura, a lot of cool potential over there with Rollins, and I would just love to see a title that's defended on every pay-per-view. So I think Rollins wins here. And Styles has stuff going forward him. They teased the feud with Waller. They teased the feud with Karrion Kross, which we'll see this week. So a lot of stuff still going for SmackDown on Styles. And I would love to see him and Roman before Roman's dropped those titles too, because that's something I feel like we've been robbed of during Roman's reign, because him and Styles have really great chemistry. So I'd love to see that feud pay out too. But that's it for Night of Champions, unless you have some surprise predictions or anything else you want to add.
Surprise predictions? No, I heard rumors that they will be having a major title change. And when you look at the match card, you have Mustafa Ali versus Gunther. No way Mustafa Ali's winning. Natty, Rhea, same thing there. And it really comes down to the World Heavyweight titles in a title change. It's a title crowning. It comes down to the tag match, or Bianca Belair and Asuka. So my prediction is one of those two matches, we're going to have a title change.
Out of those two, I would probably say the tag. But now that you have me thinking about it more, it wouldn't shock me to see Asuka win just by like mist or something, because I feel like that mist will play a factor into the decision, because they've been playing it up so much on SmackDown the past few weeks. And maybe that's a way, well, I don't know. I was saying maybe that's a way to get Bianca to turn heel, but Asuka's already heel, so that wouldn't make a lot of sense. But I think if Belair wins here, maybe a way to freshen up the SmackDown women's division would be turning Bianca Belair heel. She was heel in NXT. It worked really well. So, but then you have heel Bianca versus heel Rhea, unless you turn Rhea babyface, which I don't think is a good decision at all. So who knows? A lot of time to figure it out. We'll find out Saturday. But something that's happened on Sunday is Double or Nothing. Charlie, with the AEW flag behind you, what are we looking forward to?
Absolutely. It's going to be a stacked pay-per-view. Tony Khan has so much momentum on his side with Wembley coming up, with the announcement of Collision and potentially CM Punk coming back. You have Fight Forever, the new date released for release. AEW is on fire right now, and there's going to be no shortage of that come Sunday in Vegas, and we have a pretty stacked match card. Starting from my least anticipated matchup to, I'd say, my most anticipated matchup, you have, and no disrespect towards the Hardys, I'm very happy to see Jeff back, but it's Jeff and Matt versus the Firm. A lot of this feud is taking place on Dark, with Ethan Page having ownership over Isaiah Cassidy and Matt Hardy, turning it to a Hardy compound match on Rampage, leading to this big-time matchup here. I don't know which way this is going to go, but I think they're just going to give the babyfaces the win in Vegas, and I think Ethan Page is going to be signed over to Matt Hardy and Jeff Hardy, and his charisma is just going to take care of him, and he's going to turn babyface underneath them.
I agree with you. I think the Hardy Party is going to win here, but I would love to see more for everyone involved in this, especially Ethan Page. I think he's capable of so much more than this, and they'll do the assistant thing with Hardy for a little bit, but this has already been going on for a long time, and I really hope he gets to do more going forward. I think he could be a great champion. What's their mid-card called? TNT champion. If he's already done it before, I think he could do it again. But like as a babyface, you said, he's very charismatic. I just hope he gets time to shine on his own going forward.
Yeah, and looking more into this matchup, I would say the biggest creative blunder for AEW in 2022 and 2023 so far is easily the firm. They came in hot at All Out, and now, where's my boy Stokely? I love him. He's not around. It's heartbreaking. Now, on to the next matchup, a man who, speaking of Stokely Hathaway, he managed this woman for a little bit, dropped it for the firm. Terrible decision because this woman's on fire. It's Jade Cargill, the undefeated TBS champion, 59-0. Is she going to hit 60? Standing in her way is an angry Taya Valkyrie. I think tonight's the night. I think at Double or Nothing, we crown a new TBS, women's champion.
Wow, that's a hot take. Tyus Valkyrie's a star. I definitely think so. And I think it might be starting to get time where we see Cargill head towards the women's title. I think she's been destined for that for a while, but I don't see it ending here. I think she'll hit 60-0. And honestly, I think we might see a Roman Reigns situation where she's carrying the TNT Women's and the AEW Women's title going forward.
Well, the one thing, though, that fans have been clamoring for, and that I agree with, too, is you have Jade Cargill retain the TBS title here. And then at All In Wembley, Chris Statlander returns and takes the belt off of her. That would be electric. But then what are you going to do with Taya Valkyrie? That's kind of why I want Taya to win this matchup. I think Jade is more than fine without the title. She built it up enough. I think someone like Taya needs this, and Taya's incredible. She doesn't need the title to be relevant, but she needs the title to do something. There's not a lot of roles right now for women on AEW. Let's give the belt to Taya. Let's not wait up for Chris Statlander unless her return is imminent.
And that's something I'm excited for with the Collision show, because AEW, one of their biggest issues is they have so much great talent, and hardly ever do they find a way to utilize all of them. So hopefully the Saturday show gives them time to keep people like Taya Valkyrie on the card more. But I do think Chris Statlander will be the one to take the title off Cargill. And I think it happens at Wembley. I think you have that big stadium show, their first stadium show, I believe. So I think that's a place to do it.
First stadium show, over 20,000, not including Arthur Ashe. Moving on to the next matchup, we have a 21-man blackjack battle royal. Orange Cassidy, he's super lazy. He's not going to pick an opponent out of 21, so he's defending it against everybody. Cassidy has been the best international champion so far. He's been the second, but easily the best. 20-plus straight wins for Cassidy. He's carrying that belt. I think it's more prestigious than the TNT title by far because of Cassidy's reign. Is Cassidy going to lose the title here? I don't want to see it because after a great reign, I would like to see him be pinned. I think that's the respectful way to go about it. But you never know. In a battle royal, there's going to be, especially a blackjack battle royal, you have that Joker slot who's going to be a surprise. I don't know who it's going to be, but he's probably going to come in and take the title off of Cassidy.
I think I would even go a step farther than saying this title's been elevated over the TNT. I think he's the best booked champion they have in AEW right now, despite MJF, who I think is booked phenomenally. I think Cassidy has just done a phenomenal job with this title, and I really don't want to see him lose here. And like you said, I think he'll be pinned when he does lose it, so I think he'll retain in this.
The question is, who's going to be the Joker? My prediction, I don't know. I don't see a debut because there hasn't been any rumors. I see Pac. I see
that would be cool.
Takeshita, and if Takeshita's in this, that's where he wins the title. And that's really it. Those are my two go-to.
I think Pac would be really cool.
I could definitely see that. Maybe Will Ospreay as a surprise. I heard he wants to do more AEW dates.
I would love Will Ospreay winning that title. I think Will Ospreay is one of the best wrestlers in the world. I would love to see him on my TV screen more.
He's fantastic.
Phenomenal.
All right. Next matchup, tag titles. Jeff Jarrett, who is still relevant, by the way, with Jay Lethal, Sanjay Dutt sitting at ringside, taking on FTR. FTR is going to retain their titles here. A very fun storyline. Mark Briscoe is the special guest referee. I think that Mark Briscoe is going to finally find out that Lethal and company have been super fake to him over the past couple weeks. I think he assists FTR in retaining the gold. And it's a good filler feud for FTR before they come into their bigger feuds going into Forbidden Door, going into Wembley Stadium in the summer. I
definitely think this is probably the most predictable match on the card. I don't think there's a shot in hell FTR loses this, and I would love to see them carry it into Wembley. I think they're probably the best tag team on the planet, so I want to see them do more.
Absolutely. Moving on, title that has not been booked good at all, the TNT title, the most frustrating title in all of wrestling. Whenever it's defended, there's a change, and you know what? I want to see a change this time. I didn't want to see a change the last 30 times. But this time, I want to see Christian Cage defeat Wardlow. I think Christian is just an incredible heel. Over the past year, his work on the microphone has been ecstatic, and I think having Luchasaurus as his muscle is only going to build him up and build the title up. And why not put it on a veteran? Why not make it look more valuable? Christian should win the ladder match here. The issue is, what are you going to do with Wardlow?
I definitely think this is a change. I think Christian Cage is winning this. I think he could bring some much-needed stability to this title because it has not had any. I think his work on the mic is fantastic. The amount of heat this man carries with him into every arena is insane. And I think having him have a reign of terror with the TNT title could be a lot of fun. And I would love to see it. But in terms of Wardlow going forward, he had so much momentum when he broke apart from MJF, and it's kind of just fallen flat. And they need to do something that brings that momentum back. And to be honest with you, at this point in time, I have no idea what that is.
Maybe we wait till he grows his hair back. But until then, let's talk about the next match. Women's title action, a match I'm surprised about because I thought Jamie Hayter was injured. But thankfully she's not. She's defending her title against Toni Storm, who has been on a roll. 5 straight wins within the last 4 days on AEW television. Or 4 straight wins within the last 5 days. There. Storm has been on fire. Storm, Hayter, title rematch. Hayter wins here in a great matchup. My prediction.
I think so too. I think Hayter takes this one. Storm has been phenomenal. I think she's one of the best wrestlers on the planet, and she's still so young. She still has so much more time to do. Both of these women are young, both incredible. But I think with the Outcast and everything, I think Saraya will eventually be the one to dethrone Hayter. Maybe? No?
I hope not.
I don't know. But I don't think Storm's going to be the one to do it. I think you keep building Hayter up. An ingrown talent that has been phenomenal next to Dr. Britt Baker, DMD. I think she'll continue her reign here.
Yeah, and I want to see that eventual Britt Baker versus Jamie Hayter match. I think that's going to be incredible. And I think that's the way to go for Wembley.
Yeah, I think so too. Hayter's from the UK, so turning her babyface against Britt, I think would be phenomenal because I think Britt is so much better as a heel than a babyface. I don't see any need to turn her babyface ever. So I think that match would get a lot of heat in the UK, and I would love to see it. I agree with you. That's definitely the way to go.
All right, up next, unsanctioned match. This one should be fantastic. The Demo God, the ratings ruler, the leader of the Jericho Appreciation Society, the Ocho, Chris Jericho, takes on returning Adam Cole. He returned to action lately, had some great matches since he's been back with the likes of Daniel Garcia. Adam Cole, Chris Jericho. I think Adam Cole wins here on his meteoric rise to challenge MJF for the world title.
I agree. Cole's back. Why stop the momentum now? I think this match should be a lot of fun. Jericho goes crazy in these unsanctioned settings, so I'm expecting a lot of heinous stuff. Thumbtacks, all of the above, some crazy ass stuff going down. I'm excited for it. Cole's one of the best wrestlers in the world. I love him. I've loved him since I first saw him in NXT.
One of my favorite Cole's the man.
Workers in the world. Yeah.
And I hope that Chris Jericho brings the Painmaker here. I think that would be a great touch to the violence. And with violence comes the next matchup. The story has written itself. It's going to be incredible. Last year's Anarchy was awesome, but I think this one's going to be even better. You have the Elite versus the Blackpool Combat Club. Anarchy in the arena. Hangman Page reuniting with his friends Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks to take on Bryan Danielson, Wheeler Yuta, Claudio Castagnoli, and Jonathan Moxley. Here, I see actually the Blackpool Combat Club winning. I think it brings sympathy to Hangman and the Elite, and I think it leads to blood and guts coming sometime in the summer with the Elite finally getting their big victory back.
I agree too. I think we're headed towards blood and guts. I think this is a nice natural step along the way. But as a Cincinnati native, I would be remiss to not pick my boy Jon Moxley in the BCC. I love that man with my whole heart. Comes to Bengals games sometimes. It makes me go crazy. I love that man, and I'm picking BCC.
Wow. Big takes here. And for the main event, the 4 pillars of AEW collide. Darby Allin, Jungle Boy Jack Perry, Sammy Guevara, and MJF. No way MJF loses the title here, but this one should be fantastic. All 4 guys are going to put on a show and prove that they're the future of the company.
This match would be a lot of fun. I think these are for the 4 best wrestlers. Some of the 4 best wrestlers that they've homegrown. That's the cool thing. 4 homegrown AEW wrestlers main eventing a pay-per-view would be really cool. I think MJF has to win here. I don't think there's any other option. If they were going to take the title off for whatever reason, I think it would be Darby Allin. But I want them to save that. If they do want to put the title on Allin, I think it should be MJF versus Darby Allin 1-on-1. I think this will be a spectacular match, and I think MJF is headed towards the main event of Wembley.
Oh, absolutely. MJF is the man here. And those are our predictions for Double or Nothing and Night of Champions. CJ, a lot of fun things to talk about in a huge week of wrestling.
Absolutely. I'm very excited to see how it all plays out this weekend. And if you want more wrestling content, Angels and Fandom, or have some coming to the site, we should have a preview for both Night of Champions and Double or Nothing coming out in the next week, as well as a lot more stuff coming forward. So stay tuned to the site, and we'll hope to have some more wrestling shows like this going forward. Fandom Academy will be the home for wrestling content going forward. We'll be back with Cal joining us for Money in the Bank, hopefully some other guests too, and I'm so excited. We'll see you out.